Hello Internet, this is Michael from TrikeBike, and today I'm going to run you through the operation of our ice cream or freezer tricycle. We have a lot of these out now in service in places like caravan parks and other commercial operations, and a lot of people don't know how to use them, so it's important we go through everything. Now, the freezer tricycle is available in two versions. There's a version with a battery on the back, which is called the pedal assist version. And this enables you to ride it down the beach and other places where you want electric assistance to make you go further without so much effort. There's another version which doesn't have this battery, and it's more suited towards fixed environments, like somewhere like the convention centre, where it's just plugged in and it doesn't move too far, and when they want to move it they can just push it along. When you start off with a cargo tricycle, you end up with basically 3 charging systems, and it can get quite confusing. So we're going to start off at the back of the tricycle, and you get a charger which plugs into 240 mains supply. It has a small round plug on the back, and that is solely for charging this rear battery. So the rear battery is charged by opening a little rubber flap at the back, and then we plug in the charger. Give it 4 or 5 hours to recharge from empty to full. This will give you about 20 to 30 kilometers range. So that covers the electric assistance side of it. So with this freezer tricycle, I've left the freezer off the front. That way we can look down in the front and show you exactly what's going on. And there's 2 cables coming out of the bottom of the tricycle. One is for operating the freezer on the battery. So there's an inbuilt battery which we'll show you in detail in a few moments. When you're out and about at the beach or anywhere else, you can run the freezer for about 12 hours off the battery itself. The other lead is what we call a 240 volt supply, and this is for plugging it into a normal power outlet. That means you can run the freezer indefinitely. It can stay on 24/7. Now, this can get somewhat confusing, so I'm going to try and simplify it for you. But basically, this is how the tricycle is normally presented. So you open the doors, we've got a power point here with a normal Australian plug on it. That goes straight into 240 volts and will run the fridge indefinitely, provided you've got the right connector. So if you're running off 240 volts, we need to have the 240 volts cable connected to the freezer. If you have the incorrect cable, you can plug it in and nothing will happen. Little tab here I'm going to lift up at the back, and this is going to enable us to remove this wooden part. We have our battery in here. So this is the battery inside the tricycle that only powers the fridge. Don't confuse it with the battery that runs a tricycle if it's pedal assist. This is solely for the fridge, and down on the side here is mounted the 240 volt power supply that runs the freezer indefinitely. Now, this is where it gets confusing, so run with me. This battery here does not charge when you plug it into the power point. You need to charge it separately. So for that, we have a battery charger. We'll plug into the power on the wall, and this battery charger plugs into the side of the box. It doesn't connect directly to the fridge. If you run the fridge off this charger, you can damage it. So what we see here, it's got a strange shaped plug on the front. We just lift up this flap where it says charger only, slide that in, and it just heard a beep, and that's just telling me we've got power. We've got 12 volts coming out of the system. So if I wanted to recharge the battery now, I would plug this into the power point and the battery would recharge. If we're running off the battery on its own, so say the battery's charged and we're out for the day, we want to turn the fridge on, there's a little toggle switch down here which says on and off. So you just flick that to on, and then the freezer will come on by itself. This style of battery charger is only used to recharge the battery inside the tricycle. This style of charger is only used to charge the battery on the back of the bike, which you use when you're riding. You must make sure that you attach the right cable to the freezer for the different options. So if we're running on battery, we'll plug in the battery cable. If we're running on 240 volts, we'll plug in the 240 volts cable. Plug the 241 in and plug in the power outlet up here and run on 240, and then I'll pull that out of the fridge and I'll plug in the battery cable if I want to run on batteries. Now let's talk about the bike. It's really simple to use and operate. I'll just switch it to on. You can tell that it's on because the lights in the tail of the battery come on. I'm going to turn on the on button, which is on the left hand side in the middle. So you press and hold that momentarily. Everything will come up. We're in the slowest speed setting, so we're in setting 1 if you want to go faster. We can just make it go faster, but I'd strongly recommend just keeping it down in position 1 or 2. Some models of our tricycles, or cargo tricycles, also have a throttle. Forget to turn the battery off because it will eventually drain it. It'll take a week to do it, but it's good habit to remember to turn off the battery to the tricycle. Quick code on the back so you can scan it with your phone and it'll bring up operating instructions and also this video for any of your staff or operators to quickly learn how to use the tricycle when they're out and about. Well, that's it from me. Like and subscribe. Any questions and concerns, please get back to me and we'll be happy to help you out. That's it for me.